I just found a card with a credit line of up to $250,000 with a rate lower than your average credit card. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get it. It's called the Aven card, and you can find them at aven.com or by clicking the link in my description. Aven is the first of its kind. It secures your credit line with the equity in your home. So secured cards have been around for a long time, nothing new. But Aven's a little bit different because they've reinvented and modernized this process. A traditional old secured credit card gives you a credit line based on your deposit, usually about $250 to $500. And you can use that deposit as your credit line, but that really doesn't make a lot of sense because you're basically using your own money as credit. So a secured credit card is strictly a vehicle to improve your credit and nothing else. But fintechs are getting really creative on how they lend money, allowing for more access to credit by securing assets versus physical cash. A few examples are cards backed by jewelry, even your car. That one's crazy. I have a video on that, so be sure and check that one out. And now the first of its kind, a new form of HELOC from Aven, where your credit card is backed by the equity in your home or investment property. So wait, if this is just another HELOC, home equity line of credit, why don't I just go down to my local credit union or take out a high limit credit card? So let's take a quick second to explain what a HELOC is. A home equity line of credit is secured by putting a first or second lien on your property, and the amount of loan you qualify for is usually more than an unsecured loan or high limit credit card because it's based on the equity built up in your home. So if your house is worth $300,000 and you only owe $100,000, you have $200,000 of built-in equity into your home, and the HELOC lends you a percentage of that equity. So the first reason I consider Aven over a traditional HELOC or unsecured credit card is really important. Aven offers guaranteed lower rates than your average credit card. Plus, they offer huge credit lines of up to $250,000. Even with the best credit, I'm yet to see a credit card with that type of credit limit. Another big reason is the convenience. You can apply and complete the full process online. And if you're on the fence and not sure if Aven's right for you, you can check your offer in as little as 2 minutes with no impact to your credit score. And that's huge because anytime you apply for a regular credit card, especially a high limit credit card, most times they're gonna run a hard pull to your credit right off the jump, even if you don't get approved. So in this case, you don't like the offer, you don't like your terms, you don't like your credit limit, cool, next. You didn't commit to anything or take a hit on your credit. If you do want to move forward, you can get approved in as little as 15 minutes. Even though a traditional HELOC's process can take just weeks, it feels like a years-long process, especially when you need your line of credit fast. Other reasons I like Aven versus a traditional HELOC is a 2% cash back on every purchase. You're definitely not getting that with a traditional HELOC. There's also no origination fee, no annual fee, no notary fee, no appraisal fee, and no prepayment penalty. If you had to pay all that like you most likely would with a traditional HELOC, you'd be looking at thousands of dollars in fees. And I found this out firsthand because a few years ago when I applied for my own HELOC, it amounted to about just under 10 grand in these fees, not even including any loan interest, just these fees alone, just to fund the HELOC. I decided not to move forward with it because these fees were ridiculous. I don't know if you've ever been through the process of applying for an old school traditional HELOC, but the paperwork alone can have you throwing in the towel. So when I found out about Aven and saw they had considerably lower fees, I thought it was worth checking out. So the most asked question I get on any product I review is it legit? And with Aven, I can say with 100% certainty, it's legit. The card's issuing bank is Coastal Community Bank, the same bank that issues Blue Vine's business credit card, which I've been a member of for over 2 years. Aven even has a 4.9 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot. So let's get to the application process. How can you qualify and be approved for the Aven card? It's surprisingly simple. All you have to do is go to aven.com, answer a few questions, confirm your income by verifying your bank account or pay stubs. From there, you'll receive your custom credit limit and terms. If you do decide to move forward, this is where they're gonna run a hard pull credit check. The last step is signing your closing documents through an online notary session. Your card typically arrives in the mail within 5 to 10 days. 3 days from that point, you're free to start using it. And you can use the card anywhere credit cards are accepted. And the best part of this whole process is everything's done online. There's no in-person notary session. There's no appraisers visiting your home. Just the ease, comfort, and speed of doing everything online. There's so many reasons to consider Aven. Dream vacation, home improvement, emergency expenses, debt consolidation. That's a big one. How good would it feel to pay off all your credit cards and loans? Everything. Yeah, but I'm just paying off debt with more debt. That's one way to look at it. But what's the average credit card rate right now? High 20s, low 30s, right? What's the highest Aven interest rate? 15.49. So if you have $10, $15, $20,000 in debt or more, you're gonna save thousands on interest alone. So what if you need cash? You don't need a credit card. You don't want to use a credit card, right? You need cold hard cash for whatever reason. Aven has a cash out feature. This simple loan cash out feature feature allows for fixed monthly payments of 5 to 10 years, giving you low monthly payments. And receiving your Aven Simple loan is easy. Once you're approved and have your credit line, just log into the app, request the money you want to cash out, and have it directly deposited into your bank. So how much does Aven cost? As I mentioned, there's no notary fee, no origination fee, no appraisal fee, no prepayment penalty. There is a 2.5% fee on all cash outs and balance transfers, and a $29 fee on all late payments. Your interest rate's going to range from 7.99 to 15.49% depending on your terms, and monthly payment works just like a credit card. Repayment is simple. You only pay for what you use. You're going to have a monthly payment of 1% of your statement balance plus any interest. I will point out, if you use the credit card feature, as with most HELOCs, the APR is variable, meaning your rate adjusts with the interest rate set by the Fed. So one month your interest can be one thing, the next month your interest can either go up or it can go down. It all depends on what the interest rate the federal government sets. But unlike a traditional HELOC, when you use the Aven cash out feature, you have the option of a fixed rate. And with the cash out feature, you'll have a fixed monthly rate locked in for 5 to 10 years. To qualify for Aven, you'll need at least a 620 FICO 9 credit score, but you'll give yourself the best odds with a 700 or above. You also need verifiable income and own or mortgage your home. I'm sure there's people out there that would be against a product like this, and I get it. It's not ideal to leverage your home for credit, especially if you're using that credit for things that depreciate in value the second you hit that buy button. But if you use this credit responsibly and have a plan for what you use this money for, Aven is a great product to consider. It's also a great alternative to a cash out refi. If you've had your home for more than 5 years, your rate's going to be a lot lower than what the rates are today. When you cash out refi, you're going to refi at today's rates, and you're going to be locked in for the next 30 years. On top of that, you'll start paying interest on the full cash out on day one, even if you don't use it. With Aven, you don't pay interest on any funds not used. So before you go apply for a regular old traditional HELOC and want a credit line of up to $250,000, check out Aven first. I want to thank Aven for sponsoring this video, link in description. See you next time.